Hello everyone, my name is Tracy Williams and I'm going to be helping you learn how to take your mockup and make it into a custom WordPress website. It's very easy to do, and let's get started right now. Right now we're going to be learning how to design this particular mockup. I have a couple of them in there. This is the mockup that we're going to be designing. We're not going to be doing this particular section just because that's another video. We'll show you how to do the forms and stuff that another time. But we are going to be doing these two rows. And if you can learn these two rows, you can really do a lot of customization. The row up here is going to be one that we do in flex boxes. So I didn't really do this part here yet, but certainly if you would like to know how to do that, I certainly would be able to show that. And the navigation, I'll explain that a little bit further as well. So we can look at the site, which is online here. And you can notice that the navigation and this particular section, again, I'm not going to do. And I'll explain why the navigation I'm not going to be doing, because if you go to the title here, it says tracywilliams.website, and then this is just a page on my website. My website looks like this, and you can see it's a completely different navigation, completely different site altogether. So to streamline it, I don't want you to see my navigation, or I wouldn't want the client to see my navigation. You want to highlight what you're doing for them. So how do you do that? Well, if you go in here, edit page, and I will show you how to do that. What I did is I did some CSS, and where it says main nav, I put display none. Site header, display none. And then underneath that, did some JavaScript. All right. Then underneath that, I created a new navigation, top nav, background white. The navigation would have the color brown, font size 17, and then I added a little JavaScript so that when the client sized down, they would actually get a mobile navigation. So very simple to do, and a little JavaScript for it to actually do that action. X out of that. And then row 2, I did some flex boxes, but you can learn that another day. But let's start all over again and explain, how do you actually start the work? What is the first thing you need to do? All right, so the first thing that I do, and you want to write this down as item number 1, is I add a theme. And the theme that I like to use is the Sydney theme. And I go to Appearance, Themes, and I like the Sydney theme. And what I do is I type in here Sydney or A themes, because Sydney's a part of A themes. And this is a free theme, costs absolutely nothing, but you're able to do custom WordPress websites because of it, because it comes more like a skeleton. After I do that and activate it, I load my plugins. So click Install Plugins or Install Plugins, and you could, let's see here, get the right plugin item here. Plugins would help a lot if I did that. All right, so these are the plugins that I install. I do 6 of them. And I suggest only doing as little as possible with plugins. Less is more, because if you have too many plugins, they conflict with one another and they will break your site. So it's best to use as little as possible. I use 6. The first one, and you want to write this down, is the all-in-one favicon, which allows you to take a JPEG, load it in there, and it will add your favicon up here. Right now I have like a vintage bicycle. I like bicycles. The second one I do is the contact form 7 only, and the ones down there you don't really need for this project. Then the next one I use is Easy Google Fonts. It has 1,000 different fonts you can use. That's why it makes it so powerful. The next one you need to download is the Page Builder by SiteOrigin. This is a very, very good page builder because it doesn't add extensions. And sometimes that's very important. You're working with a client and sometimes they'll go, hey, I want to use a different page builder. You go to another page builder, upload it, and it comes with extensions. But if I wanted to go back to SiteOrigin for whatever reason, I decide that I didn't like that one, convince the client not to use it, you don't have to worry because SiteOrigin didn't come with any extensions. So you don't have to start your project all over from scratch. And some of them come with extensions and you have to, they go, hey, I want to use another page builder, and you got to start all over from scratch. So that's what I like about SiteOrigin. Then you also need the SiteOrigin widget bundle because it comes with the widget that you're going to be using. And the last one, or actually not the last one, and then I like the Spacer plugin. It kind of helps you to do things a little bit faster and not having to do CSS for everything. So I like using it. And then the Sydney Toolbox, which probably came with 8 themes, but if not, you want to upload that plugin as well. 6 plugins is all you need to make a custom WordPress website. Alrighty. So what do you do after you do that? So let's go to the site and let's go ahead and look at it on the outside. Click on this and then I'll explain a little bit more about that site builder. Alrighty. Before you do any work, you want to customize the Sydney theme. You would click Customize. You would load your logo, which I have my logo here. You can see it's different, and we kind of explain how I did that by hiding my stuff. And then you just kind of go down a little bit to do your customization. The header, the typography, and this is very, very important. I would suggest do your paragraphs, whatever font you want to use. Just go down. You could pick whatever one. Like I said, Google has 1 million of them. Well, not 1 million, 1,000. And you can find what type of font you want to use for your paragraphs. What type of font you want to use for header 1, header 2, header 3. And it makes it really, really wonderful. What we're going to have to do in this project is do div classes or CSS to do the H1, H2 because I already have that. So I don't want to really change my own website. So we're just going to do some H1 items. You could also do theme typography, but I'm not going to, I usually like to use CSS. I don't like to use that one. We also want to go down and do our header. We tell it what type of header type. We're doing a no header only menus. That means that we're not loading an image that we already have. We're just doing no header, and we're doing that for the home page and all additional pages. Doing this is what is the most important thing because this is what makes the customization work. Without doing this, you're kind of using their stuff, but this kind of makes it your website. So that's really powerful to use. And the menu style, sticky and inline. All right. So today we're using a customized one that I already did, but on my homepage, this is how you start up the whole process, and this will help you to get what you're needing and whatever. And then, you also have your fonts, which we already discussed, your footer. You could decide if you want to do 3, 4, 1, or 2. It's not really important in this particular project because I already have the footer for my homepage, so it's fine, but that shows you where it is. And then you have the menus. Once you do your menu, you name it, and then you push which menu you're going to be using, and on and on and on. The homepage settings. I'm using a static page, and I named it that static page, Homepage Design Web Development 2023. But you see, there's a lot of other pages there I could have used, but I'm going to use my own homepage. There's the Farm Nature Produce page, but this is the page we're using for the site, so that's the one I'll have. And you can put together a post page if you like. It kind of makes it really nice. And let's see, and that's actually it. And then I do some custom CSS work. And I usually comment it out, Farm Nature's Produce, so I know that all of these items are in the Farm Produce area. And you can see I did a Flexbox 1, and that's what this is, Flexbox 1. So won't go into it, but if you are interested, let me know. I could do this for you or show you how it's done. And certainly just let me know, and I will make sure we do that training for you. Why are Flexboxes important? Well, we'll show you in a few minutes here. You can size it, and you see how it actually changes because Flexbox does that. Make it even smaller for a phone, and you can see why it's so powerful. Also the navigation, I did that JavaScript, and that makes that navigation change as well. But Flexboxes are really, really, really wonderful for that reason, and the reason why I like to use it. So we have that top page already done. So how does the page builder work? Well, let's do a new page, and I'll give you an idea of why I like using this particular page builder and why it's so powerful and what it actually does. When you open up your site, it will look like this. First thing I do over here is I make it a front page, and then I open up the page builder. And then I add a row. You can have as many columns as you want. So if you're making a page that needs to have 5 columns, you could do that. We're going to be doing 1. Next thing I do after that is I click theme. I add a background color. You can add a link color as well if you want, or a row color. I like to use the full width stretch. If you use full width or standard, that will add margins to the right and left, so you don't have to do it. But I think initially I'm doing full width stretch for that top page, and then I would click insert. So there is your work. Then you have to add a widget. You can do custom HTML, or if you want to do what you see is what you get, you would do SiteOrigin editor. And that allows you to do your own layouts. You can add margins, padding. You can even change what you would like the mobile site to look like. 5, which would be a little bit different than the PC or laptop, which is wonderful. And you could do some design. So each row would have its own color if you wanted to do that. So there's a lot of little things that you can do that really makes this nice. And you just click over here and you do it and it's done. And you don't have to go get additional widgets or plugins. Everything's over here. You could even add a CSS if you would like in this section. I like putting them all in one place so that I can see it at one time. But anyway, that's how you do it. And then if you wanted to duplicate, maybe you were in the same area, you want to duplicate it and duplicate the row, you could do that. You could even duplicate a widget and it will add it together. In this particular one, you can even click edit row and you could do 3 and it will add both of them, I think 3, and you would just kind of add it, duplicate, add it, and you could do that. You could do duplicate underneath it, and maybe just have 1 here and 2 there. So there's a lot of little things that you could do, which makes customizing your site easy. You can even change the row width this way. You can even go in here and make sure that it's all the same, 13.5, click, and you have to do 13.5, and then it will make those 13.5 and change it in the middle. So when you click done, everything will be sized perfectly. So this is what makes the customization. If we stopped here, you would be able to do a custom WordPress site just from learning how to use this editor. All right, so let's go in a little further by coming out of here and going back to what we are trying to create, which is this particular one. This is a marketing firm. Sometimes they do marketing pages and I do this for them. They were just wanting to market these 3 items. Of course, they have more items than that, but we're just going to be showcasing these 3 items. So let's get started with creating this particular mock-up. I'm going to click Edit Page. Before we start, I did want to show you one more thing before we start doing some work. Wanted to show you some other design that I did. This is design for a construction company. That's the design, and this is the actual page. Already done. I did some JavaScript rollover actions here. Cited. I'm still working on it, and pretty soon we'll be loading it to the client server, but right now we're still doing some work. As you notice up there, they haven't sent me the actual content for this section yet. We have a capability statement that the client can download to their computer, and the footer. And this is also a page on my website, but you see the navigation is different. I did the logo design for them. So anyway, there's a lot of things that you can do with this particular theme and the SiteOrigin page builder that I really love. And you see the navigation is different here. So you can, showcase a lot of stuff for your clients and really help them see what things will look like when they go to their site. All right, now we can start the work. All righty. We're going to add that second row. So what I usually do is I just do a duplicate row, and I'll go in here and just kind of delete this part. All right. And then add my widget, add widget. And instead of using HTML, which is what I usually use, for you, I would do the SiteOrigin editor and make it a little bit easier so you can see what's going on. And we're going to do the second row. So what does it look like? Let's see, let me find it. There it is. Okay. it has 2 columns. So let's go ahead and start that. Edit. I'm going to make 2 columns. Edit. Click 2. Since it's a white background, I'm going to do the theme, and let's see here. Instead of it full width stretch, let's just do full width. It will add those margins to the right and left so that you don't have to do that. I'm going to do done. I'm going to duplicate that, move it over here, and add that image. Let's see. It's the first thing that you do. I'm going to move that over. Is that image, which is that organic food paper bag or organic bag, whatever you want to call it. Let's go ahead and add that. Add media. There's the bag. We're going to insert it. And what I do is I cut out everything from the template or the mock-up and just add it one at a time in my media folder. And I just save it in a folder on my computer, and I just kind of load stuff up here. All right, I'm going to add that bag, insert. There it is. Okay, so we're going to look and see what that looks like and see if we have to do any more work. Click update. Sure, there's going to be something we need to do. Always is. All righty, there it is. All right, so it's still doing that same color. So let's change that background color. Going to do edit, new, because we did that cut and paste, but I forgot to change the background color, of course. Click edit. We're going to go theme. We're going to find that color. We're going to click clear. You could add the white, but clear is going to be white. So we're just going to do done. We're going to do update, and we're going to look at it again, and we will see that that row has been added. Now, some things we notice that there's a lot of gap right there. When you look at that mock-up, it doesn't have that. So how do you do that? Very easy to do. We're going to click edit, and we're going to go here, and we're going to click edit where that, because we just want to do this one page little thing, so we don't want to do the whole row, just this section. We're going to click layout, and we're going to do a -100, thinking it may be less or more than that, but we'll just try 100 first. And then let's do the mobile. We'll just have it all 0 for right now. And we're going to do done. We're going to do update, and you do this all the time here. Always going back, updating and looking and updating to make sure you're doing everything the way you want it. Take a look, and that is what worked. Perfect. All right, now we're going to do the other row or a column, not row. I'm going to go here and just start typing everything. I just like to do it in text, not in what you see is what you get, but you do it whatever works for you, and have to remember what it is that I'm adding there. Since 1992, space, and then what else does it say to add? White Farm Nature's Produce. Y Farms Nature Produce. Now let's see, is that right? Nature's with the S. That S. And let's see, produce, perfect. Then we have this paragraph here. I'm going to go get it from my actual document so I don't have to type it all over again and make typographical errors, which I always do. Control C, back up there. Where'd it go? There it is. Space, Control V. All right, and then we have that last one, no more about us, all in caps. All right, so we know that we didn't do any CSS and everything's not going to look right, but you always just add your stuff first and work on it again later. All righty, there we go. So that doesn't look like our mockup. That's okay. All right, so now we're going to start doing some CSS. Might as well learn it. And if we had this done the right way, the Y Farms nature would have probably been a F2, F1, and you wouldn't have to do the CSS. It would have been done for you, but like we said, we can't do that yet. So let's go up here and start adding what we want our items to be. All right, so let's get down here. We'll do customization. So we're going to do div, oops, not cat, div class. If you do a class, that means that you can use that more than one time. An ID is for one item. But sometimes I may use this again, so sometimes I call it a div class. And I'm just going to put 1992 and make that, scroll that down, and then close it. And then this one is going to be div class equals Y farms -1. You can name it anything you want, basically. And we're going to do div there. We're going to add a BR so that it hard codes there. And I don't know, do we need this? Let's see, I forgot. We're just going to do a div class here equals font yellow. Oops. Oops, really messed that up. That should be that, not add that underneath. Oops, we don't need to do that. All right, there we have it. It should be good to go here. It looks like everything was not spelled right. There we go. Everything ever with the E. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to go done. And when you look at the site on the outside, it's not going to show anything. But what is so wonderful about this theme and this page builder is it allows you to see what you're doing while you're doing your CSS. So we don't see anything there. I'm going to click customize, and we're going to fix some stuff there. We're going to go to our additional CSS, and we're going to start adding. All right, so that one font was called 1992, so we're going to do dot 1992, and we're going to do, we may not have to do the margin. Let's not do this one. I think we should make life easier on you. But we can do the other ones. And let's see, that was Y Farms Nature. What did I name it? I already forgot. I think I named it Y Farms -1. I think I had that font somewhere, and that was that Berkshire. Just gonna get it from the top layer there and add it. And I think that, oops, why did it do that? Those weird things. And we want that font size to be 50 points. Okay, we want to add a line height. Yep. There we go. One. I'm going to add a little space on the top and bottom. So we're going to put padding. Let's do a 10, 0, and 10. 0, oops, 0. And that kind of added a little padding. Now let's look at the mock-up again. I never can remember what things look like. Oh, it's a bigger padding. All right, so we're going to add more padding than it needs. Let's see, 25, maybe 35, 40. Or maybe we'll do that. 35. Oops, I keep doing. Let's see, is that how it looks? Still a little, well, that's fine. And then we're going to do align text center. There we go. Help if I know which one you need to use. There we go. All right. Can make that a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it a 60. There we go. Let's see how that look. Yeah. Yeah, all right. And the 1992, trying to decide. Let's see, let me look at that one more time. All right. So we're going to leave the 1992, and then we're going to do the no more about us. Go back. I don't think we need to do that one there. So another trick we could do, and we'll do that instead of putting it here. All right. We're going to do an edit. And just like we did over here, we added that minus 100. Make sure you add these. 0 them out. And this one we're just going to add href equals, and do it that way instead. And you can go over here and do a color design, and you could say link color, and we're going to make it that orange or yellow or whatever color it was. It's a hex code FF9933. Yeah. Oops. Add the A in the bracket. Okay. And let's see. Done. Update. And hopefully it looks like that mockup. Much better. Yeah. Alrighty. So it looks pretty close to that. And it added the margin on that side and on this side. I'm going to add, just make that a 90. It's not way at the top there. So edit. layout minus 90. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of these div things because we don't really need them. It's a thing, sometimes I forget that the editor does a lot of stuff for us, so use it because it does do a lot of things. Done, update, view page, scroll down. Yeah, I gave it a little bit of space there. All right. And we can use that text. We could have changed it to make it a little bit different. Let's see what it looks like over here. It added some space there. So we're going to add a little more space beneath the know more about us. And we're going to use that spacer item. You got to go here though. Click that and add it. Default. All right, you're going to go back to text. Allow this down, won't make a big difference, but I like to see things a little bit clearer. And we're going to go done, update, view page, roll down, and there we go. We got that space. We use that spacer, and that's the way the page looked. Now let's start our next one. And we're just going to do it the long way. We're going to click add row. First, we want to show it where we want to add it. Just kind of click somewhere, and then we're going to go add row. And let's see, is that 2 columns? Yeah, it's going to be 2 columns. All right, and we're going to say that one, and we're going to do design, and we're going to use a background image. I'm going to upload it from my computer because I don't think I have it uploaded here yet. All right, so what is it called? What did I name it? Mountain background. One day it will load. You can add alt tags to this, alt text to it. You can do a title. You can do a lot of little description, a lot of SEO work. You could add a caption. So it is really wonderful to use this page builder. I love it. Okay, and we're going to do insert, see where it put it. Sometimes it, loads it where we don't, so we just move it. That's what's another thing. You could just move it where you want it. And we're going to do again, add widget. So you click here so that it knows where to put it. And we're going to add the widget. Page, SiteOrigin editor. What you see is what you get type editor. We're going to duplicate it and then move it over here. Then we have to go back and look at what am I making again. All right, and so we're going to add the graphic, and then we're going to add all that. All right, so let's do this one. Add the graphic, add media. Not sure what I named that, but maybe I'll remember. Organic bag, no. Oh, peanut poster, there we go. Let it load for us. Perfect. And then another thing I'm going to do is, I didn't really add the layout for the row. I'm going to edit the layout for the total row theme. You know what? I'm going to add that image here, and I'm going to just move it from that other one. Let's add it here. And we're going to do a standard row. That's already doing that. Done. And we're going to get rid of, I think I did it here. Why did I do that? Don't want it here. Background color. Yeah, I don't think I did. Strange. All right. Don't know what it's looking like yet, but check it again. Layout, design, background image. There shouldn't be anyone up here. Oops. All right. Go back. Go done. Seems like I added that. I don't know where I added it. You probably saw somewhere I did that, and I don't know. Theme. Oh, maybe I did put it in the right place. I just don't remember. All right, so we're going to do update, and we're going to see how that image looks. Make sure we have it in the right spot. Maybe fine, because I don't think it had to go all the way up, but we'll just look to make sure. All right. Really shaping up. Oh, you know what? We're going to have to make that full width stretch. Forgot that it has to go all the way across. All right, so I'm going to do edit. Change that row width. Theme. And it needs to be full width stretch. So we're going to probably have to add, we could do it a simple way too. You can also add, let's see, 4 and make everything like this if you want to make things a little bit easier. You don't have to do any CSS. You just kind of, let's do a 7.3. This one's 7.3. You'll make sure they're same, and we're going to do done. And this will save you having to do any CSS work. I want to move this. There we go. All right, and we're going to do update. And then when we look at it, we'll look like what we want, because that background image will be the full width instead of just part. And it is. There we go. So that worked out really, really well. We have our margins that we use, and so we're really in good shape here. And we're going to do edit. So now we're going to add our content. And like I said, you just add it, whatever it was that was on there, because I don't remember. Farms, nature, produce, brains. And then under that was world-class quality products. And how was that looking? World class, and then products. Oops, glass. Not right. Okay, there. And then 2, and we're going to do the other one right at your doorstep. Right at your doorstep. Is that how it looks? With the whatever. There we go. All right. And then it has that button. All right. So we know all of these are going to be div classes. So we're going to do a div class. Farms. You could do it here. You don't have to do it underneath each other. I'm going to write down that that's what I'm doing. Farms, so I don't forget the name of that. Farms, bring. And then we have world-class products. Div class equals world class. And close it here. And then right at your doorstep, div class equals doorstep. Oh, close it. And we're going to add a button here. Div class equals btn, n dash 1. I have another button somewhere, so, and we're going to put on there explore, what is it called? Explore our products. Explore our products. And then that's going to be at oops, that's not right. Right here. href equals, and then we're going to close it. All right, so we have that already done. So we're going to go done. We're going to go update, and I named that btn-1. Yeah. We're going to look at the page, and we're not going to see anything change. It's just going to look the same because we haven't really created any CSS work. So it just looks like that. All right, it's perfect. All righty, so let's get this done. We're going to have to change the orientation of that, but we'll do it later. All right. Go back to our CSS. Roll this up so we can see what we're doing. Click underneath that. And I think I named it, I'm going to do dot farms dash bring. And that is a font fam. Oh. See if that's even changing. Where is it? Yep, it is. And what size should that be? 25 points. Font size 25 pt. All right. And then the color is 757575. And I don't remember, was there a little space? A little bit of space there. So we're going to add padding 0. Well, you know, let's add a padding at the top there. 25 0 25 0. Whoop. All right, there we go. We have that done. Now we're going to do our other one, the world class one. We're going to click a dot. I think it was called, oh, I forgot, world class, hopefully. If not, it won't change. So, and it was font, family, Poppins, light. All right, and it was font size, wrote it down here, 48. Line height, all right, and was that centered? I don't remember. Yeah, it was centered. Text align. Perfect. Alrighty. So what is going on with that one up at the top? Is it centered too? I think it is. Text align center. Perfect. All right. And then we had, let's do a little padding. 0, 0, 20, 0. All right. Now we're going to add the right at your doorstep. Dot. What did I name that? Did I name it right? Or no, doorstep. And that was font. T-O-P-P. Else that I named it that. What did I name it? Right at your doorstep. Well, I have to figure it out. All right, we'll just leave it. And we did a button.btn. And font family Remo again. Do that right? Oh, BTN-1. Yeah. And I think I have a button already in here to do all the work. Maybe not. Swear I don't feel like all right. I'm gonna pause just a second. All right, so I went ahead and found that button and decided to just not make us have to do all this typing for you, but you can see that it has the padding. One more thing I have to do, just a sec. And we're gonna add a border radius. That's 2. If we make it, whoops, gotta get that. Whoops. Makes it curvy. Let's do 30. All right, let's do 40. Yeah, that's fine. And the font is a little bit big. Let's see, what font did I use for that? Do not remember. 10 point. All right, so I'm going to go back and make it a font size of 10. Perfect. Or maybe make it a 12. Margins are right. Padding. A little bit smaller. Alrighty then. And we're going to go publish. All right, and we're going to do X. I'm going to find out what that right at your doorstep was, because I do not remember what that was. Right at your door, what I named it. So let's see. Edit page. Oh, there it is. A little error. Forgot the equal. Whoops. Equal. Oh, interesting. How you could forget something and you don't see something. All right. So anyway, we're going to update that. Go back up there and fix it, and then do some more little work there. Right at your doorstep. Customize. See what we're doing. Doorstep is Poppins Light, and we wanted to make that font size 30. 30. Yes. 30. Oh, see what we're doing. And we want that to align center. Perfect. All right. We want that button to align center too. Looks. Oh, all right. All right. I'll work on that just a few minutes from now. I just want to do a little something else first. Get that taken care of. Second here. All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to click this and do some changes to the move that over more this way. Click edit. Layout. Done. You can also center things this way. Saves a lot of time. Alrighty, there we have it. All right, so move this over a bit. Update. Now what I would usually do is take this out of here and put it in this row, but we're just going to leave it for right now. Make you have to stand here or listen to me all day. So we're going to add a spacer here. You can also do this in CSS, but it's good to learn how to work this editor. Sometimes it's good to just kind of learn stuff. All right, and we're going to go back here. I'm more of an HTML person, but let's see here. Like to see things a little bit in HTML. All right, so we're going to click done. And this probably would need a little more work, but you kind of get the idea of how easy it is to use this editor. It does a lot of clean stuff for you, and I would do some work on this one a little bit more just because it doesn't look the way I want it to, but you can get the idea of how to do this. And this particular image should be bigger, and there's a way to make it bigger. You should really add it to this. All right, and we're going to do some color work, and then we're going to call this a done thing. Let's see, but first let's just finish it, and then I'll do some finishing touches on it. All right, and so font colors aren't right. So we had Farmers Nature World Class should have a color of 464646. And doorstep, the same thing. Color 464646. And let's see, I think that's it. All right, so you can kind of get an idea of how wonderful this actually works out. It just really does a lot of work for us that you don't have to do. And you can do customization this way. And sometimes it's best to do HTML instead of using the columns, which is what I'm going to do when I get this done. So anyway, so that you can understand, it's very, very powerful to use the right tools, and the right tools are what helps you create a custom designed site without having to know a lot of stuff. You don't have to be a major programmer or anything like that. You could do simple, basic stuff, and even high quality work just by using this particular page builder and the right type of theme. Thank you. Have a good day.